What is up, everyone? Hello, welcome. My name is Seth. I love to talk. You are here for the Seth Loves to Talk show here live. Twitch.tv/Seth Loves to Talk. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Maybe you're watching on Twitch. Wherever you're watching, I'm glad you're here and you're here to listen to me talk. Today's topic is a good one. Something near and dear to my heart. Something that you've probably used. Something that we all would benefit from there being more of. The magical. The majestic. The transportative train. That's right, we are talking about trains. And here's a funny thing about trains. Don't get a lot of love for being as goated of a form of transportation as they are. Trains are efficient. Trains are peaceful. Trains are kind of expensive, but that's part of the problem, I guess, why we don't see as many trains. It is what it is, you know? I've ridden trains almost all of my life. When I was a kid, I was a big fan of a famous train, one you might be familiar with, Thomas the Tank Engine. I had this book, the complete collection of Thomas the Tank Engine. I used to read it all the time. And I didn't only read Thomas the Tank Engine, I also watched Thomas the Tank Engine. I used to play all of these Thomas the Tank Engine VHS tapes all the fucking time. It was like all I played. I had one of my family friends used to babysit me, my uncle. He got driven insane by the amount of Thomas the Tank Engine we watched when he stayed over. I had parties at train stations where we played like Pin the Tail and the Donkey in a train caboose. I had a picture of me dressed up for Halloween with like a lantern, a little conductor's hat, all the works, okay? And it was because of Thomas. I had a model train set. As I got older though, I actually interacted with trains a lot as a form of transportation. I went to a small private school in Westport, Connecticut called Greens Farms Academy. And as you can see, Greens Farms Academy was incredibly accessible by train from where I lived in Rowayton. It was a 22-minute train ride, and that's including the walk from the train station to school. It was super, super easy. I'm telling you, it's like a 5-minute walk. So I took the train every day to and from school for like 3 or 4 years until I was able to drive to high school. When my parents got divorced, my dad was living in New York, I was living in Connecticut. I would take Metro North into the New York City to see him on the weekends. So as a kid, I was taking the subway, I was riding trains to school, I was riding trains on the weekend. I rode trains all my life. I loved it because it was really nice and easy to just kind of sit, chill out, listen to music, do whatever, and commute. I have, been a little sad that I can't just take trains everywhere. Seattle, they're working on it, but it's not there yet. We're not a train city yet. My friends here in Seattle think that I love trains. And I know that I don't love trains, that there are people out there who love trains, but they thought that I loved trains because I threw a birthday party where we watched a 7-hour train ride from Bergen, Norway to Oslo on Netflix. It was called Slow TV. Now you can find it on YouTube. It's not on Netflix anymore. It was an absolute blast. Multiple people stayed all 7 hours. That was kind of just the party. It was more or less, come by, get some snacks, ride the train for a little and hang out. So the reason why this was actually such a good time is because of these little notifications. Everyone would guess how long the tunnel was. And some of these tunnels were really short. That one we just saw was like 781 meters or whatever, right? But that's not always the case. Sometimes the tunnels were a lot longer. For example, guess how long this tunnel is. Were you gonna guess 8,043 meters? If you were able to guess the length of a tunnel, so like if you guessed within 100 meters how big it was, you could assign people to drink, for example. So it was like a little mini drinking game. And what's really cool about this train ride is that since it's through Norway, it's really beautiful and scenic. Throughout the ride, you would get a bunch of different climates because it's basically going all throughout Norway. So what started in a beautiful fjord kind of, fall landscape turned into this nice, wintry, scenic view. And it was really peaceful just to be hanging out with a bunch of friends. We had a puzzle, we had snacks, we had board games, whatever you wanted. The living room of our house was like the interior of a train car. I had Norwegian flags, like tiny little Norwegian flags on the walls and things like that. It was immaculate. What a great birthday party. And there's actually a Spotify playlist that I made that has, I think like 80 to 100 train songs. Here, let me pull it up. The playlist was called Bergen, Baners, and Oslo Swiners, clocking in at just under the total length of the journey. We had a bunch of different songs related to trains. We had songs by train. We had songs about trains. So after this party, my friends kept on telling me, oh, you're the train guy. You love trains. You love trains. For Christmas, I was with my girlfriend and my dad, and we were having a conversation. I went, hey, Dad, can you answer a quick question for me? Am I a train guy? And he looks at me and he goes, you don't love trains. No. What are you talking about? My girlfriend's sitting there confused, being like, wait, I thought he was a train guy. He threw a train party. You're telling me he's not a train guy? I was like, I know, I told you. People love trains. I want to open up that world a little bit and show you people that truly love trains. And to do that, we have to go to TikTok. Maybe you're familiar with Francis Bourgeois, a TikToker from West London who loves trains. I first saw the following TikTok, and this is what introduced me to Francis Bourgeois.
I'm staying up extra late tonight to see a test train pull into Brighton station. One of my favourite locomotives might be on it, so we'll just have to wait and see. It's 73962! Oh, it's it! It's it!
How can you not love this guy?
Oh, quick, I've got to get around.
He's got a 360
I've got to get
cam.
around to see it. This is beautiful 73962. Dick my butt. What a beautiful locomotive she is. Another marvellous loco. I'm glad I stayed up late for this. This is a treat.
Another marvelous loco. That is someone who loves trains. And so when I saw this TikTok, I had a reaction that I think a lot of people have had to Francis Bourgeois, which is, this can't be real, right? Like this is satire. What I found out was that it is absolutely real. This man is deathly serious about how much he loves trains, okay? I kept on digging through his TikTok discography, and I found this TikTok, which is one of his most popular ones, but I think it is a masterpiece. Dick my butt, that's comedic genius. This is an editing masterclass. This is like a Bible for how to edit action in TikTok.
77 from Littlehampton to Southampton Central. Thank you. Whoa.
Let's count the cuts, okay? It's too perfect.
Whoa.
Cut 1, cut 2, cut 3, and the money shot, eating his snack. What a treasure of a man, and a TikTok channel in general. As I mentioned, some people had a hard time believing that Francis Bourgeois was real. They saw how he dressed and his looks, and they basically thought, this man is too beautiful to be this nerdy about trains. He's too put together. He looks too cool. He's not like this. This is an act. And he made this video, and I thought it really touched on the core of my channel as well, which is that anyone can love anything. And it's really important to let people have their interests and their passions. And I just think that this message that he has about why he loves train spotting is really beautiful, but can also apply to anyone about anything, whatever it is that you're interested in. As long as you love it, keep loving it, and don't let anyone else change your mind otherwise.
Doubting my authenticity and whether I'm actually a train spotter, mainly because of images when I was younger. I'd like to take you back to that time. I started a new school in year 7, and my favourite thing to do after school was come home and play with my model railway. But I realised I was experiencing feelings of loneliness, so I decided to try and fit in a bit more at school. I gelled my hair up and decided to sell my model railway in order to fund my gym membership. I even wore roadman clothes, but it wasn't me and it wasn't making me happy at all. Lockdown happened, my hair grew out and I reclaimed my love for trains through my videos. And honestly, running down platforms and chasing trains really feels like the shackles are off and I'm totally free. I've met wonderful friends, and honestly, life is so much more pure now I've reconnected with my passion. Train spotters come in all different shapes and sizes. Could even wear a True Religion jeans jacket and some Nike Air Max.
What a beautiful message about enjoying and embracing your passions, your hobbies. Doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter what you're into. Enjoy it because you enjoy it. And that's something that I firmly believe in, and I hope that seeing someone who truly loves trains can help you believe in that too. And so with that in mind, I want to show another person who really loves trains. A lot of people really enjoy building, going and visiting model trains and dioramas, things like that. And I've had the pleasure to be able to see some really cool model train sets. And I know people in my own personal life that have model train sets in their basements that they've worked on for years and years and years. And they've collected locomotives and scenery and everything to build these worlds that they can kind of manage and go to and, you know, use as some form of escapism. And so I want to show you one of these channels that's dedicated to model train videos and diorama making, and just show you some of the detail that these people are able to do. So this channel is named Luke Towan, and Luke, I believe it's called Boulder Creek Railroad. Boulder Creek Railroad. And so he runs this channel showing viewers how to build the most high-end detailed diorama miniature train sets. And I was really impressed when I stumbled across this by how detailed this diorama is. It is an incredible thing to be able to make a model that looks this realistic. I mean, look at how detailed the roads are. So they start off with using these multi-foam boards. You're working on a model train set, you probably want to start with the track. So they start building out the track and the ground underneath. From there, they work on everything else. In this case, what he's trying to show you how to make is an intersection, a crossing. So he's going to show you basically how he goes and builds the gradient for the road so that it leads up to the crossing properly. He's going to go over all the signage that he does, all of the landscaping, and it's just really, really impressive, all the detail and thought that goes into making these model train systems. And you can see there are products that are made especially for this, for the most niche and specific things. It's really, really crazy how in-depth and deep the model train world goes. And it's like any fandom that has a lot of people that are really passionate about it. It has these really specific products. This is literally an epoxy that's made for forming the road. So obviously he needs to build out his landscape. He's got to do a little bit of terraforming, building out some hills, some features of the landscape. And after he's able to start kind of getting the land shaped, he can begin to start painting and sculpting it so that it actually looks like the full diorama scene. And one of the things that I thought was really, really impressive to me was how they actually are able to get all these different textures on things like the roads. He basically has a bunch of different powders and paints and sands, and so he's laying down base coats of things, and then on top of that, adding all of these different texturing things. He has things that texture roads, things for texturing grass and making wear on the roads. He's sanding things down to get rough looks on the edges of the road. It's just so in-depth. He's putting in fake potholes. I mean, like fake manhole covers and like the pressure plate sensors that when you drive up to a stoplight, it's crazy. This is what loving trains is. I like trains. This is loving trains. Being able to do this and have the patience to build out these worlds and understand that this is just a piece. Like all this detail is for a piece of this crossing. There's so much more model to build. All of this 25-minute video is for one small section of the model train. It's so cool that there's so much graphic design and all of this that goes into making a diorama that you're not thinking of. If you said to someone, hey, make me a diorama, they're not gonna immediately jump to, oh, well, I've gotta make sure I can make really nice realistic looking public road signs for all these different scenarios. And I've got to make sure I put my no entry next to the road. All the detail in this model is absolutely insane. And it's so cool to me that there are people that just love doing this so much that they think about all these details and are able to actually put them together and build this thing. That was Luke Towan, his channel. I hope you enjoyed hearing about model trains, because I think that it's so cool that people can be that into something, to think of all these tiny details and want to build a world for them to be able to escape to. I think that's something that a lot of us can relate to, and wanting to have this world that feels like ours, that we're able to create, you know, taking something from your head and pulling it into the real world in front of you and being able to walk around that. And obviously with a model train set, you're not literally walking around in the world, but being able to walk around the model and see it and everything that's inside of it. I just think that trains are really cool. So it's awesome that there are people that love trains enough that they make the best versions of what a train can be. If the video of this episode gets 100 likes, I will watch all 7.5 hours of the Bergen to Oslo train ride on stream. That is my promise to you. We will have a train ride watch along. So be sure, give the video a like, share it with your friends, anyone else that you think might enjoy it. We have another segment. I have bad news. The bad news for this week is that I had the Wordle spoiled for me. And I had it spoiled in the stupidest way. I had the Wordle spoiled because of a basketball player cheating on Wordle. And so there was a news story posted about how he cheated that spoiled what the word was. So I'm pissed. I'm relying on you, the community, because I've said, if you haven't done Friday's Wordle, you can come here and we'll do it together on stream. So I need you more than ever. We can still keep our streak alive. I do need to start us off with one guess, which is, of course, the word of the week, train. That is what you guys get. We go from train. The first valid guess that we have, I'll go with, okay? Nothing to panic at yet. It's okay. It's okay. No, Fantasia Deacon. They wouldn't do something bad like whore. Thank you for censoring yourself, by the way. I appreciate it. Really kind of you. Rouge. There's no O, though. You're the first person to guess in a while. I'll put it down. This is actually a lot of information. Not a bad guess. Where do we go from here? Query. Okay. Query, not bad. You got a lot of information out of it. Femur. That's a good guess, right? I don't think that... Yeah, I think that there's a lot of... That's all new info, right? It is. But we are on to our last guess. One more guess, chat. You have some good info. You need to think hard. Go to the inner recesses of your brain. Fantasia Deacon guesses ulcer. And that is right. Let's go. Fantasia Deacon absolutely clutches it. Uses their brain. One of the only times in my life that I will say I like ulcer. Our streak lives on. It's our first 6 guesser, but we're still going. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. If you're at this point in the video, be sure to subscribe, like, share it with your friends. Remember, 100 likes and I will watch the 7-hour Bergen to Oslo train ride live on Twitch. I'll edit a video of it after. All the highlights. Have a good one.